Hey everyone, JC at StarCraft here, bringing you Game 1 of the finals for the Go4SC 34 Weekly Cup between MorroW and Cos. So, action getting started here on X'el Naga Caverns. MorroW going to be spawning as the teal Terran in the bottom left-hand corner, and Cos going to be spawning as the yellow Terran in the top right-hand corner. Both of these players, of course, world-class. MorroW, one of the current StarCraft 2 champions, winning the IEM as the replacement for Braddock. And Cos, definitely one of the top StarCraft 2 players out there right now on SC2ranks.com, one of the aggregator of rankings for Battle.net points, I think, is how they gauge it. But Cos is ranked something like number 52 in the world. MorroW has been playing a lot of tournaments and probably hasn't been playing as much ladder, just winning tournament after tournament, seems like it. And so, you know, he has been, he's a little bit behind 59 in the world, but definitely one of the most formidable players. MorroW is enjoying how not laggy everything is. That's one of the major complaints on all these cups recently, and is calling it smoother than a baby's butt cheek. So Cos not really into butt cheeks and doesn't really care about it. Will play with lag, will play without lag. So let's see how this game turns out. Cos, very interestingly, while he is ranked number 52 in the world with something like, I think, 1,400 points on SC2 ranks, he is still only 5th in his division. Because ahead of him in his division is Braddock, Straylock, HeyPro, and Jimpo. So must be frustrating to be, you know, a really top player and still 5th in your Battle.net, on your Battle.net screen. So very interesting. And now both of the scouts going out for both players. MorroW going to be slowly charging across the map. They are crossing. I think this is the natural pattern that they use, is that the top right will come down through this X'el Naga tower, the top left will hug this X'el Naga tower. So they both miss each other, neither of them really gaining any sight and coming to the base at approximately the same time. Looks like Cos will win the first scout competition. If there was one, if that was announced, that would be pretty cool. You know, bonus points, some achievements. They should have that achievement, first scout, and just count how many times you are able to scout out your opponent or see one of their buildings before your opponent is able to. So Marines coming out for both players. Tech Lab going down immediately after that first Marine. So first Marine just for defense at this point, and then going to be transitioning probably into a bunch of Marauders. And likewise, it looks like pretty standard build. Second gas going down for Cos. Can't really tell exactly what he's going to go for yet. Might be going 1-1-1. Might be just be trying to get out a whole bunch of. And it looks like a Scouting Reaper for MorroW is about to come out as well. Kind of a late Reaper. Not going to be doing too much with this. Very different strategy, of course, for MorroW to play against other Terran players. Probably is incredibly good at microing Reapers at this point, so might even feel comfortable bringing them into a TVT, but probably not, as you can see that Marauder is coming out from behind. And meanwhile, it looks like Cos is throwing down his factory, so he will be going 1-1-1 and a fast expand from MorroW. So this is a 1 Rax fast FE, going to be throwing down a few more Raxes immediately to try to bolster his army, and looks like he will be playing a bio game, at least early on in his opponent. And okay, there's potentially a pause going on, and something's going down there. So there's a mention of cheating, which isn't cool. So I'm not exactly sure what that meant. I don't know if I hit the message log, if that'll pause the game. I'm going to check really quickly, so I apologize right here. And it does pause the game. Going to scan that really quickly again, and it looks like there was some sort of IMing going on, and MorroW not very thrilled about that. Or maybe something happened to it where one of the observers, there is only one observer in this game right now, which I think was at the request of MorroW. Might have texted like, hey, you know, MorroW is building this, so go in and attack right now because he's fast expanding, and Cos, you don't know that right now. So MorroW going to take advantage of this timing, has 2 Marauders out onto the field right now. And just looking at the production tab, it looks like MorroW going to be researching Stim, getting out that second Rax and an engineering base. So kind of potentially thinking about early defense against any sort of Banshee coming in, although it seems like Cos is just going to be moving in as well. He has felt no early aggression from his opponent, and I think what he's assuming is, hey, my opponent MorroW probably isn't going to come in right now because he doesn't have that many units and is defending. I might as well expand at this point and just go test the front door and see what is going on. So Cost temporarily supply blocked as that supply just finished right there. Throwing down another Raxel, has gone 1-1-1, but not going to be going anything crazy with it necessarily. He's thrown down a scout, has seen this thing going down, and MorroW kind of freaking out right here. Really interesting right now. MorroW is half building these missile turrets and is keeping that SCV stationed right there. That SCV is having the time of its life. And it looks like there's going to be a medevac drop from behind for Cost right now. Going to be testing out this area. Has he scanned it at this point? No, he hasn't, but I think he might suspect that there is something there. Or I'm not entirely sure why he knows that there's an expansion here, but maybe he's just assuming that based on the scan throwdown that he did in the base. And so going to be running in through the back right now. Might be able to take out a few units. And of course, very interesting that this missile turret is here. I think MorroW is going to be canceling these because if there were Banshees that came in, he would just finish them right on the spot. But since he has them half built, he can just go ahead and cancel both of them and regain the income that way, and put it towards something else cool like Marines or something else like that. So multiple mules going down right now for MorroW. This one a little bit on the backside, might lose a little bit of time before it explodes. And it looks like Kost's going to be taking down the X'el Naga Watchtower, trying to gain control of it right now. Meanwhile, he's going to be taking his expansion, using the timing to his advantage, and just kind of pushing out. Has gone mostly bio as well to supplement his forces as MorroW, and MorroW is going to be exploding. He has exploded both of those turrets, gains back that money, and now is going to be using those to construct more Raxes to really push in against his opponent. He does have a factory going down right now as well, and looking at the army tab, MorroW is ahead 68 to 57. Also ahead, also has been outmining his opponent as well, and I think Kosh is going to be focusing on trying to saturate his natural at this point and really trying to reestablish himself in the economy. Might assume that his opponent has more units than him, although things are evening out just for a little bit. But MorroW does have a ton of Raxes going down right now, and is getting a tech lab, getting a reactor onto the factory. Might be swapping it out with the starport so that he can pump out medevacs as fast as possible, and now getting down more gas as well. So decently sized army for Kost is going to be moving in. Just looking at the unit composition, mostly Marines and just a handful less Marauders, so a bigger Marine contingent for MorroW pushing in. Kost already has his medevacs, and I think if he pushed in right now, might be able to do a significant amounts of damage. Both players, I think, already have Research Stim and Concussive Shell. Combat Shield, I think, already gone. No Combat Shield for Kost at this point, as he just doesn't have that many Marines to really justify it. Although Combat Shield is down for MorroW, and going to be moving out and setting up a sensor tower right now as well. So looking at the army, MorroW is pulling ahead because he does have those Raxes just pumping out everything as fast as possible. And looking at the production tab, MorroW is just pumping away and getting his units down. This could be pretty bad for him at this point, though, because there are medevacs in the air. SCVs are coming out to draw fire away, and Kost is trying to run at this point. Picks up a few into his medevac, and the medevac goes down, and a second medevac goes down. Kost just lost his entire army. Not very thrilled about that. Well placed missile turret. I think MorroW is just using this to ward it off, but unfortunately for Kost, is run out, and the Marines run up ahead, try to trap the medevac. The medevac is safe out here, but not going to be going anywhere, and unfortunately a very very bad timing for Kost. I think he would have preferred to stay on the ground and fight it out to do an army trade, because right now he is significantly behind, 105 to 75, an unfortunate misstep for him, and I think that might cost him the rest of this game. As MorroW right now is just going to pull ahead. Already had more buildings to produce. Kost right now just finally trying to get some more buildings down right now. So he's going to have 5 Raxes, and MorroW on the other side already had 5, been pumping them out the entire time. So looks like MorroW will just be trying to establish, might be taking another expansion at this point. Looks like he already broke down the rocks in the back, and could probably push in right now, although it looks like there are siege tanks down for Kost, so that's just going to be that much harder. Kost trying to turtle in at this point and waiting for the retaliation from MorroW. MorroW now scouting ahead with his medevac and seeing what he can take advantage of and possibly hit, or maybe this guy just unfortunately a little bit ahead and of the pack, got sent out there. It looks like expansion at the gold is going down for MorroW at this point, so MorroW definitely taking advantage of that window that he had, knows that he pretty much decisively won that early battle, and looks like he's going to be dropping in on the backside of Kos. Kos is going to take a little bit of time to really get those siege chains back up and running. So let's see how much damage MorroW can do. Pooping out the units, spreading them out across so that in case there was tank fire automatically while he fell down, might be able to spread that out a little bit more. Trying to retreat his units and doing a second round to pick up from the medevacs now, just dropping them down. It looks like this could be pretty even. A lot of Marines on the ground. There is focus fire going on, and then pokeroffkas trying to retreat, trying to pull the infantry units in. And I think in all that mess and all that blood, only one supply depot went down. So not a huge loss for Kos. Good try by MorroW to go in there, but nothing huge. So +1 finally going down for Kos. 1-1 already for MorroW, and I think he's just going to be going ahead, and now he's getting tanks as well, as he has to get tanks to react. But looking at the army tab, 135 over 134. MorroW has taken 2 more bases right now. Feels very feels like he can definitely keep his opponent at bay. There's a random Marine trapped in there, so he's going to get a view of the entire army fighting it through, as I doubt MorroW's going to drop that Marine for the rest of the battle, so he can safely follow everything unless his medevac explodes all over the map. And right now it looks like MorroW in pretty strong command right now, has out-expanded his opponent, and catching those, the Marauders are temporarily overextending themselves. This orbital command has not flown anywhere yet, not safe to go. A sensor tower going up for him as well. And it looks like the saturation of the gold is now beginning. Looking at the income tab, MorroW pulling ahead significantly, 59 over 47. Drops down a few. I don't know who, I think Kos just scanned that. Yeah, he did. Why would MorroW scan his own medevac? I'm not sure, because when I'm casting, I can't think quite as accurately because I'm trying to keep my mind racing and going, kind of like APM. It's like CPM, cast mind. I don't know. Anyways, so it looks like Kos is going to be bunkering down, has a significant number of siege tanks right now, and just throwing down a ton of missile turrets everywhere. There are SCVs all over the map, and missile and sensor towers are just getting thrown. Look at this by MorroW, just establishing everything. He wants sight everywhere. I think the big worry now is that it might be siege tank versus siege tank. So the siege tank's range of 13 is much less than its sight. I think its sight is only like 7, 8, 9. I'm not entirely sure, but if the scans going down on both sides, as this usually occurs in Terran versus Terran, you know, if there are Vikings that fly in, these missile turrets will take them out before they can give too much sight for the siege tanks. And Kos, taking a pretty risky move at this point, is unsieging and trying to push a little bit ahead. Risky move, because if MorroW scanned that and pushed in right now, he would be able to catch Kos a little bit off guard. And it looks like Kos is just going to push ahead, unsieging his tanks and trying to reestablish himself, but kind of a bad move, as the tank's just going to take massive fire from the already sieged tank line. I think Kos knew that he was behind at that point and just decided to push in and not prolong that game. So good game from Kos and MorroW. So, and that's the first of the best of 5 series. This has been JCS StarCraft. I am signing off.